Yeah, Sam and I had a conversation.
You and Sam did? We'll finish this conversation.
Was this the video?
Good going.
Oh, he didn't make it.
Uh-oh.
22 minutes.
We've already made a motion to suspend the rules.
Suspend me and
No.
replace me.
Consent agenda. We're going to do like Little Rock, North Little Rock.
Can we? There's nothing wrong with that. You don't even allow city council.
Did you get your nap today, Adrian?
You know I did.
Get your Jello. Your Jello.
I got my oatmeal this morning.
It's good for you.
Fall off the consent agenda.
Yeah, I keep that in one pretty good. That or some cereal.
And you get a nap every day, too.
Yep, I got a nap. As a matter of fact, I set my clock to go off at 5:30.
So you can make it on time?
Consent agenda items.
But you laid down at 1.
No, it was like 3.
That's true.
Yeah, and that's
When it comes off and the person just like, what about the bunny rabbits? Where are they going to live? And you're like 5 hours later, you just have to.
My nephew got
Let's call the Planning Commission meeting to order. Mr. Neri, do we have any announcements?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We do. I'd like to call your attention to one of the handouts that's in front of you. This was copied out of City and Town by Monsieur City Attorney for you. It's by my esteemed colleague from the Municipal League, Jim Von Tuglin. It's suggestions for the Board of Zoning Adjustment and an explanation of their functions. It's a very, very good article, and I highly encourage you to read it. Some of you may remember, and I know one of our audience members will for sure, that Mr. Von Tuglin was probably very instrumental in the forming of the MCA here in Maumelle by the charrette that was held here in 2005, which he helped me organize and did a very good job. Some very good things in our code book came out of that 2-day meeting. So with that, I'd also like to call your attention to the next meetings in November and December. Please notice the dates. As usual, they're accelerated 1 week. The subcommittee meetings will be at the same time, of course. The submittal dates are at the same time. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Neri. You all have a copy of the minutes from last month's meeting. Are there any additions or corrections to the September 28th meeting?
I'll make a motion. We accept the minutes as submitted.
Second.
And I have a second. Any further discussion on that motion? All those in favor, yes?
Yes.
Opposed, no. Motion carries. We have no public comment cards for non-agenda items. So at this time, I'll open the public hearing portion of the meeting. We have no old business. Move right into new business. Mr. Neri.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. In discussion with Monsieur City Attorney, we're going to take items 1 and 2 in one motion. That's the revised site plan for Academics Plus Charter School and the revised landscape plan for Academics Plus Charter School. In effect, it's an added row of parking with a little bit of landscaping next to a synthetic turf athletic field. So we'll take this in one motion. This stays with the commission. Staff review, after a second staff review on both the site plan and the landscape plan, staff comments have been satisfied. You can see also an email from Mr. Mazan Rahman to me in relation to the charter school. Pending his final satisfaction in the construction phase and any further commissioner comments, staff would recommend for approval.
Thank you, Mr. Neri. Are there any questions of staff by the commissioners? Any questions of the applicant?
I have one, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir.
Could I get the applicant to the podium? And you can come too, Mr. McGill.
All right.
Need to state your name and address for the record, please.
Clayton Vaden with Lewis Architects. Rob McGill, Academics Plus Charter School.
Thank you, sir.
And basically, all I'm going to ask is, are you in agreement that you will comply with the staff comments on all of this construction?
But I assume, yes, sir.
Okay, that's all I got.
Okay, any other questions? Thank you, gentlemen. If there are no further questions, I would entertain a motion, and this is a motion for
stays-
both.
Make a motion, we grant the revised site plan for Academics Plus Charter School and the revised landscape plan.
Second.
And I have a second. There-
And that's subject to complying with the engineering comments.
Is there any further discussion on that motion? If not, all those in favor, yes.
Yes.
Opposed, no. That motion carries. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
All right, next item on the agenda, Mr. Neri.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. These will be two separate motions, a revised site plan for Lamb and Associates in relation to their revised landscape plan. They've added some parking to make way possibly for some extra employees. They're still far over the ratio recommended by code. All staff comments have been satisfied. You can also see an email from Mr. Rahman to me in regard to this submission as well. Pending any further commissioner comments and the satisfaction of Mr. Rahman's comments in the construction phase, staff recommends for approval of the site plan.
Thank you, Mr. Neri. Are there any questions by the commissioners of staff? Any commissioner? Yes, sir.
I don't have any questions.
Okay. Any questions of the applicant?
I have one, Mr. Chairman.
Name and address, please.
Eric Holloway, 200 Casey Drive.
Okay, you agree with satisfying the engineer's comments during the construction phase on, I think it's detention, a couple of little items.
I don't think he had any comments, but we'll work out whatever we'll satisfy any future comments he may have.
That's all I got.
Any other questions of the applicant? Of the representative of the applicant, I probably should more appropriately say. All right, if there are none, I'd entertain a motion.
I make a motion to approve the revised site plan for Lamb and Associates, pending any staff comments.
Have a motion and a second. Any further discussion on that item? All those in favor, yes.
Yes.
Opposed, no. That motion carries. The next item is the revised landscape plan. Mr. Neri.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. After a second staff review, staff would recommend for approval as resubmitted.
Thank you, Mr. Neri. Is there any question by the commissioners? Any questions of the representative of the applicant? Hearing none, I'd entertain a motion.
I make a motion to approve the revised landscape plan, pending all comments by the staff.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor, yes.
Yes.
All those opposed, no. That motion carries. Thank you, gentlemen. At this time, we'll close the public hearing and go straight in the liaison reports. I had October 2nd. I was not there. However, being a short meeting as it was, thank God, it was pleasurable to watch it on the video. About the biggest thing, well, I ought to give our planning director some kudos because he had a gentleman here to talk about the wetlands grant and gave, as I understand, a very nice presentation. At least it sounded like it on the video. And Mr. Neri did an excellent job of standing there.
Yes, it was interpretive standing.
I guess the only one that really concerned us was the third reading of Ordinance 942. This was to repeal Ordinance 925. That was for the street and drainage dedication for Dr. Haas's subdivision. This repealed that, and this is all private out there, and they will maintain their own streets and drainage. Next item was 943, and that was the second reading, and that was basically to adjust fees to correct the disparity that they found for getting building permits, being a building permit for repair and remodeling. I think the example that was given, it may have been given by the mayor, was that the library, the remodeling permit would have been somewhere in the 12,000 range. Had that same building been built brand new, it was 2,000. So they discovered they needed to fix something. So, and then the last item on the agenda was a resolution to trade in a piece of equipment, Parks and Recreation. They did that as a trade-in so they get a new piece of equipment. That's all there was. Next one was Commissioner Gershner on the 16th.
That was mine. October 16th, the only matter relevant to the Planning Commission was the third reading of Ordinance 943 dealing with the building permit fees, and that was passed.
Okay. Next, November, we got Commissioner Ramsey on the 6th and Commissioner Todd on the 20th.
That's the 16th. Oh, no, that's right. Excuse me.
And Director Neri has already brought us up to date on the next month's Planning Commission meeting because being before Thanksgiving. Is there anything else to come before the Commission?
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
make a motion, we adjourn.
I have a motion, and I have several seconds. All in favor, yes?
Yes.
All opposed, no. We are adjourned.
You missed that.
Well, 9 minutes.
Sure do.
Not fast enough for Roy, he's already gone.